Welcome, kids. It's Saturday morning, and this is the Peaceful Fighter Show. Yep, you got it. We're sitting here full strength today. We got Ryan, Nate, we got Sean. I'm Chris. We are in studio ready to take your calls at 541-485-1450. It is the Contractors Electric Studio, and we are talking mixed martial arts, baby. How's it going, guys?
It's going great.
Cool. And I understand you put a few away last night, huh?
No, it was the night.
I didn't.
Night before last.
Well, you were watching the old folks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Nathan was being the responsible one.
I was working.
So you guys got some fights coming up real soon. Sean's gonna be fighting, and are you fighting too, Nate?
I'm fighting in September.
Oh, okay. So we got
those fighting before me.
All right. So we got your fight coming up on the 20.
Mine's on August 29th, and his is the weekend after mine, September 5th.
And both are here in Lane County, right?
No, mine's here in Lane County.
And yours is in Newport.
Lincoln City.
I've got it all down, man. I'm hot on fire today.
It's in Oregon, man. It's somewhere. It's close by. Shoot.
Lincoln City, that's right.
But,
and the fact that your fight is here in Lane County is totally awesome. I'm very excited about that.
Absolutely, right here at Lane Event Center. Sean Waldo versus Briar Thompson. So.
Oh, you know who you're fighting now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me about Briar Thompson.
Sean, you do the Facebook stalking.
There's
I don't
not
know
much about him.
Not much.
You know,
what do you call it? Trolling, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I've checked out his Facebook. He's not very active on it. Him and his girlfriend or wife share it. But there's really not much info, and won't even let you send him a friend request. So there's a few pictures, and that's about it. So
have you met him at all? I
have not met him. The only reason I even think that's him is because there is a picture of the guy on the new poster for the fights, and I kind of matched the two pictures up. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure it's the same guy, but I don't know. Don't know much about him. Don't know how old he is. I don't know how tall he is. I don't know.
It's gonna be fun. So we're just gonna get a chance to kind of just play with Sean and see what just do the full gambit and see what's gonna work out well. So it's kind of the first round's gonna be super interesting. So anybody who wants to come out and check it out, Sean's been working hard for 3 years. And he's gonna go out there and just test all of his skills: striking, grappling, submissions. It's gonna be great. So.
I bet you he wasn't out drinking last night. He's prepping for a fight.
I know.
He's probably training.
I'm done.
Probably training right now. Yeah.
I already made the decision. I'm not drinking until after my fight.
That's a good call.
From here on out?
Yeah, until after my fight.
From here on out till after the fight.
Yeah, come on, let's get reasonable here.
No, I understand.
Reasonable.
I mean, it's like trying to take away oxygen in food. You can't do that.
I might drink a single beer during the fights.
You know what? It's no big deal. It's a matter of,
the fights.
No. The UFC fights, the pay-per-view fights. You know what I mean? But as far as actually getting schmammered, no more of that. No more of that. But
see, that's what takes it out of you. A beer, no big deal.
They say it's good for you.
Yeah, Coach says it's crucial for my recovery.
You know who says it's good for you? Budweiser. That's who says it's good for you.
The commercials.
Right. Just like the winemakers are constantly doing studies telling us how a couple glasses of wine is good for you every day.
It's good every now and then.
Yeah.
It thins your blood, get good blood circulation every now and then.
Yep. See, that's true. See, there's health benefits. Now, on the other hand, if you go into the fight kind of drunk,
whoa,
be a little pissed off.
Whoa,
we've also considered that,
as a joking.
No, it's actually not allowed. They'll check and smell you more.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
They'll boot you off quick. The last guy I
check and smell
you
sounds kind of creepy.
Yeah, I was up in Portland doing some grappling, and I had this guy, and I was grappling, and I could clearly smell alcohol on his breath. Like, what are you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
Is this how you guys roll? It was interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure they drug test you, right?
For professionals, yes.
Yeah.
Not at the amateur.
It's kind of a random deal. They have to go through testing for hepatitis and that kind of stuff and make sure he's clean. But as far as like the drug testing and the steroids, testosterone testing and stuff like that, it's pretty random, and they pretty much stick to that to the pros.
Yeah, I suppose the testing for steroids is probably a pretty big deal too.
Yeah.
Most it's I wish they'd do a whole lot more of it. It's a really kind of a scary thing.
Yeah, it is. Good God, you got a guy in there that's all pumped up and doesn't have any nuts and all that stuff, and he's wild and crazy because his mind is all screwed up from being messed up on the steroids, and Chris, you don't want to fight that.
It's no fun. I tell you, this one time I fought. In fact, Jimmy, he was on the show last week. He cornered me for this fight. I fought this gentleman, and if he wasn't on steroids, then I don't know. My name's not Ryan. From what I remember, the crowd was...
Good point, Bob.
Yeah. It was incredible because he was so huge and so strong, and I hit him so hard. And none of it faced him at all. I've never hit anybody with a real solid knee like that, had him not fall down. And Jose just kept on coming. And there was nothing I could do. And
that sucks.
It wasn't as fun. But,
it's not a level playing field.
No, it's not.
fair.
You can beat it in the end. Okay, so like towards the end of the fight, I kind of like it. He's cheating, but they're also mentally weak. So towards the end of the fight, I actually felt him break. And he kind of, it's like, I thrown everything in the kitchen sink at this kid, and he even told me later, I didn't know what was going on. I was throwing everything I had at you, and you just kept coming and coming. So, you can't overcome that. That one, I had a bit too much weight discrepancy. I was weighing like 170. He was over 200. So that was a tough deal there. I never did see him weigh in. But yeah, it's a really, really tough deal to deal with anybody who's on steroids.
Oh, that's not cool at all. Now, in the beginning of UFC, there were no weight divisions. They were just putting people in. That's Butterbean and all these guys, and
started at 0 and time went up.
Oh my gosh, we were just watching some of that just the other day. It was like time went up. They didn't even count down. There was no stopping. It was just
started at 0
no
and
rounds.
went up. It was crazy.
No glove. The gloves are actually optional. So every now and then you'd see goofballs wearing like one glove.
It'd be that one guy that wore one boxing glove.
Yep.
Wow.
But it was style versus style, like a boxer versus taekwondo.
Right.
Wrestling versus boxing.
Well, and that's when they started discovering how jiu-jitsu was really effective.
Royce Gracie
came in.
Yeah. And it was that's when they started with their weight divisions, and they started to professionalize the sport. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're at a point where it's really professional. It's making millions of dollars. People are getting rich.
Huge industry. That's what we're shooting for.
It's regulated now.
Well, it was so brutal that it wasn't allowed on TV. It wasn't even allowed on pay-per-view.
And to be honest, when I watch that stuff nowadays, it's the heritage, and so you got to love it and everything. But I don't really enjoy it. I don't enjoy a guy getting his neck broke. Not my thing. I don't want to see a guy get his neck broke. That's just not for me. But a good classic match. A good punching, good striking, good kicking. I enjoy that.
Yeah,
but some of the last stuff, I wonder, was the ref even watching some of these things? It's like this guy's getting beaten down.
Yeah.
And nobody's doing anything.
The ref was there just for somebody to hide behind.
I think he was texting.
Yeah. There wasn't texting back then.
Oh,
God, that started in the 90s, didn't it?
Must have been a pager.
90s. Yeah.
Wow.
Pager.
Somebody was beeping him.
Yeah,
I have been at some local cage, not local here. It was up in Washington. It was just so bad. They don't really regulate their stuff as much. They do a little bit more now, but this was before they did, and it was a real rough one. This kid was in there, and man, if he didn't leave in an ambulance, he should have. I felt real bad for that kid. He kept getting up, bless his heart, but wow, it's a good thing we have it regulated here in Oregon. That's all I'm saying. I really like the Oregon State Boxing Commission does a good job making sure everybody's safe.
Yeah, and now that it's under the auspices of the Boxing Commission, and there are rules involved, and it's become a professional thing to where people have a goal to achieve. It's a lot different than just throwing two guys in a cage and letting them have at it.
No, and that's no fun to watch either. I don't think. I guess that's not true. There's some entertainment value there, but it's definitely real nice to watch a good match with good skilled people. We have so much talent coming out of Oregon. It's phenomenal. So.
Well, and I asked you that last week about how we rank nationally in this particular part of the country, and
oh yeah, we're doing great. We got a lot of guys that are, I think Brent Primus is, doing a real good job, undefeated in the Bellator. Anthony McDonald's doing a great job. He's, doing the King of the Cage thing. We got Nathan Noble right here, of course. Sean Waldo. Speaking of which, I want to give a couple of tickets away to Nathan's fight. So anybody wants to call in, we'll give those away a little later.
Now, this is to the one in Lincoln City in September.
Yeah, Lincoln City's real classy joint. It's
spendy tickets. It's real nice venue right on the beach. It's a nice show. It's something to plan for and maybe take.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. Go over there, play some blackjack. 541-485-1450. You got a pair of tickets you want to give away to the fight.
Yes, sir. Yeah, they're real nice.
In September in Lincoln City. What's the date?
September 5th.
September 5th. Do you know who you're fighting, Nate?
Tim DeVore.
Oh, yeah.
Kim DeVore?
Tim DeVore, yep.
Huh.
Kim. It's similar.
Have you seen any fights that he's done? But you got any tape that you can look at?
Tell us about this, Nathan.
He fought my friend Jay in Tillamook for the Knucklehead. They fought. He poked him in the eye. He was telling the ref, The ref didn't see it. So
We
he
cornered
didn't-
him.
That was a fight you guys cornered. You guys were in the corner while this was
we were
happening.
in the corner, yeah. And he got poked in the eye, and he was on top, and he was telling the ref, hey, I got poked, and he didn't see it, so Jay was looking at him, telling him, and then Tim got him with a knee, and then followed it up with a couple punches, and the ref stopped it.
It's about 10 seconds left in the round.
Yeah,
our boy was winning the whole round. He was doing a great job. After he got poked, Tim's corner was yelling. He's calling timeout. Finish it. Mess up. I don't know. A lot of swear words. I'm not gonna say it, but it was very unprofessional.
Yeah, really
a very
unprofessional
feeling. They were really gloating, and I don't know. So we kind of decided, all right.
So you got a little bad blood is what's
Yeah.
going on.
Go in
here.
there and
Nathan is
rough
pretty
him
much
up a bit.
the Terminator.
I hope he's training because I know I am.
Yeah, Nathan is pretty much the Terminator. He could probably walk through a wall with no problem. And so,
and Jay literally took this fight off the couch, and he did a phenomenal job. He trained for 2 days with us the week before his fight, and he went up there.
Now, is that our buddy that works out with us?
Yep.
Oh,
He just
okay,
moved
that
here.
Jay.
See, now he's starting to take it seriously after that.
okay, so now he's training.
Yeah,
But
now he's
even
now
with
he's
just
training.
with off the couch, he was doing a great job against him. So I mean, we're definitely proud of Jay for going in there and sticking to the game plan.
All right, so we're going into August. Your fight is August 29th.
Yep.
Okay. You've been training pretty steady for a long time now. Are you
yeah.
going to up your game for the month of August? How are you going to change your training for this fight coming up?
Well, I mean, I'm training hard, working hard, but I'm obviously trying to have fun the whole time. Not be miserable and hating training every time I go in there. So we've been going 2 a days. I come here, probably at least 3 or 4 days of the week. I'll come in at about 6 a.m. and then work until about 8 a.m., go home, rest a little bit, come back, and I'll train again from 11 to 12.
Now, what are you training from 6 a.m.? Is this one-on-one with Ryan?
That's me and
Yeah,
Ryan's
yeah.
just mitts and technique stuff and just...
So his actually, we'll talk about this a little later too. But so the schedule is going to change a little bit this month. I'm glad you're going to kind of bring that up, Chris. We're going to do the 6 a.m.s as usual. Me and Sean are together 1-on-1. We're working on his game planning, doing lots of different sparring, just different situational, technical stuff that we can work on. Anything that may come up. His conditioning, of course. 8:15 we have gymnastics. Svetlo is the coach. And he's from Bulgaria. He's fantastic, Olympic level. And, he comes in 6 days a week now, and he works on our coordination. He works on our strength.
I just got done with him about an hour ago.
Yeah, in fact, they just got done, in fact. So, like I said, Monday through Saturday, that's a class that, anybody's invited to for that one. So come on down. Anybody who's listening, come on down and check it out. 8:15. That's Svetlo's class. And then so 11 to noon, you come in with us and we do some striking for MMA. And then from noon to 1, we'll be doing some team stuff, whether we're conditioning, extreme conditioning, different kinds of MMA, sparring. They've got a lot of different partners we're coming in, doing some Shark Tanking where we have multiple opponents, and we rotate them in on every minute against Sean. And he just basically, really hates his life for those few rounds. and we get to punch him in the face. But that's kind of the cool thing, is that everybody is super respectful, and that's where you trust your partners, and we love him. We want him to do better. Him having a broken nose going into his first fight's not going to help. So, we're going to take it easy on him, but at the same time, we're going to put some gloves to him and really push him. So he's
right. Well, that's the only
ready.
way you're going to be able to step into the ring like that.
Yeah.
It's true.
Is if you and you know what? To me, what's so cool about training, when you get hit, we're used to that,
Right.
and it's a real big difference. I mean, people out on the street, when they get hit, they're so shocked about being hit that they can't react in a way that's going to help them defend themselves. There is an old joke that
It's
if you
so
hit
funny.
a black belt, he becomes a brown belt, and if you hit a brown belt, he becomes a green belt. And it's works its way down that way because you're not prepared for it, and you're not used to the shock that you feel when you get struck and hit. And being in class like that where you get hit quite a bit, if you get hit out on the street, it's not that shock. You still got your wits about you. You know what I mean?
Still keep your head movement.
Yeah, and you're
They
just more
freeze up,
prepared.
you're like, "Ooh, I
You're
just
just more
got hit.
prepared.
What do I do?
Yep, yeah. So our plan for Sean for this fight is make him miss and punish him. Make him miss and just punish him. So it should be a good time.
Yeah.
Sean's damn good at moving. I don't know if I can.
Yeah,
say
you can say damn good. It's okay.
I don't know. I'm still learning.
For Christ's sake, it's okay to say damn good. And yeah, that's the one thing I've noticed about Sean is he's moving around so much, and that does expend a lot of energy.
Yep.
But you're young and you're light, and so you got all that energy.
I like to look at guys like movement, like T.J. Dillashaw or Dominic Cruz, or guys that are moving their feet a lot. They're not only winning fights and doing well, but they're really not getting touched much. That's what I like. I'm looking to go in there and get as many wins as I can and get hit as few amount of times as possible.
Well, that's obviously the goal. Yeah.
Right. No, I'm not just trying to win. I'm trying not to get touched. So
well, yeah.
That's,
it hurts.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Yeah, believe it or not. No, I can take a shot. Believe it or not, it's not as fun as it looks.
It's gonna happen. I realize that, but the smaller I can make that number, the better. So, movement.
All right, we're going to be back after the break. More Peaceful Fighter located right here in the Broadway Commerce Building just down the hall from All Comedy 1450. Stick around, kids. Hey, we're working out at Peaceful Fighter.
You know, I'm really starting to notice some results, not just in myself, but even the rest of you schlubs.
Yeah, your boobs are getting smaller.
I can't fit a whole tuna can under them anymore. Ryan is a professional fighter, and he treats you with kid gloves in the beginning. Expect to work, but also expect results.
Peaceful Fighter. These guys are really, really cool. Go on down, check them out, tell them you heard it on All Comedy 1450, and get half price off.
Wait, we could have got half price?
We should have got half price.
What's that name again? Happy Warrior?
Peaceful Fighter, you idiot.
Peaceful Fighter. Check them out. Get results.
Hey, even Karma and Mrs. Beans are doing it, and they're getting big-time results, too. Hey, give them a call at 503-442-8105. Peaceful Fighter.
To schedule your first half-price free session, call 503-442-8105.
Peaceful Fighter's located in the Broadway Commerce Building, Broadway and Willamette, right down the hall from us.
Hey, it's making a big change in my life. Try one in yours.
April 19th, 1775. An attempt by the English to confiscate guns from Americans triggered, let's say, a successful revolution. If you're still a firm believer in your Second Amendment rights, you need to visit Oak Grove Guns, because they do too. Located at 45 Division Avenue in the Santa Clara Shopping Center, Oak Grove Guns handles everything from sales, cleanings, service, even defensive firearm instruction. You can find them on the web at ogvguns.com or give them a call at 541-636-5392. Hey, it's your Second Amendment right. Oak Grove Guns, 45 Division Avenue, Santa Clara Square.
Hey, join us Saturday morning from 10 to 11 for the Peaceful Fighter Show. Peaceful Fighter is right down the hall from All Comedy 1450 in the Broadway Commerce Building. Ryan, Sean, Nate, and the gang are going to join us live on the air. We're going to talk fitness. We're going to talk mixed martial arts. We're going to talk whatever you want to talk about. And we'll throw in some funny. Saturday morning, 10 till 11 o'clock. The Peaceful Fighter Show on All Comedy 1450.
Hi, I just started vaping, and I'm looking for an apple flavor.
Well, I got our Smack Back Apple Jack.
Does that have apple in it?
I don't know.
What about banana?
We got our Snoozer Banana Quat.
Well, what's a snoozer?
I don't know.
Thank you. You've been very helpful.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Will. Quitting smoking wasn't easy, but Picket Vapors helped me with their quality smokeless equipment with kosher ingredients, the finest flavors, steeped and bottled on site in a clean professional lab. Priced to save you, friendly and helpful service. Picket Vapors, 9th and Main, Springfield. Picket Vapors, kick it now.
Cigarettes for Less in the Safeway Shopping Center has all your smoking and vaping needs. Maybe you didn't know they carry some of the world's finest glass. Carrying products from an American glass studio, Ed Wolf's got glass. No fancy descriptions, no over-the-top sales pitches, just good quality American glass at affordable prices. Stop by Cigarettes for Less at the Safeway Shopping Center in Pioneer Plaza, Springfield, and see for yourself that Ed Wolf's got glass. Tell them you heard about it on All Comedy 1450.
We're back. It's the Peaceful Fighter Show, boys and girls. Chris, Nate, Ryan, and Sean in the Contractors Electric Studio on a Saturday morning. Good God Almighty, but you guys are training hard anyway, so this is just another day for you.
Oh yeah, we've already been up and training, and we're here doing this thing. So I figured to get the adrenaline out for these guys and then come in here, help us out.
Well, and you brought up that you're going to start up a self-defense class and a women's self-defense class.
That's true. That's true.
And that's completely different animal from mixed martial arts.
Absolutely, completely different. So this is going to be more based on philosophy, footwork, understanding your surroundings, and then some go-to emergency stuff.
Absolutely. That's eyes, throat, groin, and knees.
Oh yeah,
stuff,
that's the stuff right there.
This is not a game. And
no, it's we're going to try to end it quickly and get out of there as fast as we can.
What
and then
you got to do.
Where there's no ego involved, we use our feet, and as soon as we can, we get the heck out of there.
Yeah, Chinese hidden foot and run.
Exactly.
That's our technique. But seriously, this is, and because I'm a martial artist from way back, and I took traditional martial arts, and MMA is completely different. It just is. First off, there's rules in MMA. There's things you can't do. And on the street, when it's a serious life and death situation, that changes everything.
Yes.
And the bottom line is, especially for women, if you get accosted out on the street, who knows where this can go if you don't defend yourself. And yeah, there's no rules, man. You're going for the throat. You're going for the nuts. You're going for it and getting the hell out of there. It's a whole different animal.
Oh yeah, and so I think a lot of that first half of our class is going to kind of be going over just kind of the philosophies of self-defense, and when to use, understand when there's a threat, when there's a danger. I think that's something that can be talked about and maybe taught a little bit more, is just kind of understanding what's what's around you, your surroundings, what can possibly be a danger, who's a real danger, when things are getting serious and when they're not, what to say. I don't know you goes a real long way in the community. If anybody in the public hears those words, I don't know you, and you're panicking, I think a lot of people would step in and say something. Whereas, hey, stop. That may mean you know each other.
Right.
You guys are having a conversation. Maybe I don't want to get involved in that. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, because there's nothing worse than getting involved in some kind of domestic squabble, and all of a sudden the woman turns around and is like, leave him alone. Oh, Jesus. And now you're in a mess,
So you like this stuff, huh?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's an entirely different animal. And, see, that's my background. And the MMA thing is newer to me.
So it's going to be great to have you in, Chris. You're going to help out on Monday is our first kind of installment, I guess. We're going to do a series over the course of the month of August. Looks like Mondays we're working with a company in the building, Palo Alto. So we're super excited.
Up on the 5th floor.
Yeah, we are super excited to work with those folks.
That's way
cool. Can't wait for that. We've done a little bit of this kind of stuff before, but this is kind of the first for a big format. So we're super excited. We want to encourage anybody to come out and check that out. Give us a call, and we'll see if we can't schedule something out for you guys too.
Yeah, that's way cool. And I got to tell you straight up, it's good to be a man. It really is. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but it really is. However, you still get self-defense situations out on the street as a man.
Oh, yes.
And it can be even more brutal.
Well, I think most men have been in a fight. And when I ask women, I think the majority would say no.
Well, and that... Look, now we're getting into some philosophies here. The reality is the reason women can really get away with speaking the way they do and bitching and saying the stuff that men could never say to another guy is because they haven't been punched in the face before. It's a reality, man. And that's why women can get so much more aggressive towards men, because they don't think they're going to get punched in the face. And guys know from experience they've been punched in the face.
It's
and
true.
There's stuff you don't say to another guy, or it's on.
Yeah,
it's just on.
There are fighting words.
Those are fighting words in 2nd grade. Those are fighting words now.
Yeah, they are.
I've actually never been in a street fight.
You've never been in a street fight?
Nope.
Wow, I've
Never
been in a
street
bunch.
fight. Never been walking down the street or coming back from the bar and randomly got in a fight.
Well, and part of that had to do with lifestyle things. I mean, back in my biker days, which are a ways back, I mean, it was an aggressive situation all the time. And it's in another life, and it was back in the 80s. Yes, I'm old and all the rest of it. But still, the constant threat of some kind of fight going on, pretty constant. Now, in our basic martial arts training, if you walk into a situation where there can be trouble, you failed your training. That's how it's truly taught.
Yeah.
The more you know, the less you use it. That's also how it's taught.
Yeah, we don't go out much.
Yeah, well, and you know what? When some of my old instructors used to take it out to the street to test it. honest to God, and they were
Oh,
pretty
my God.
rowdy. You know,
What was that movie, Kickboxer?
I think there's a guy here in town that did
That's
that
a
a little
great
bit.
movie.
And now he's he got in trouble for it.
well, and you can get in trouble, and the law is really
talking
specific
about the hot dog guy?
too.
What's up?
I was saying the law is really specific too.
Yes.
You know,
Oh yeah.
basically, you know, you can defend yourself, but once you knock the guy down, you can't kick him, or else it's on you.
Yep.
You know, seriously, you can only meet the force with an equal or slightly greater force, and to stop the attack. But if you start throwing combinations at the guy when you got him reeling, then you become the aggressor,
Yeah, they're
and
not gonna
you're
like
breaking
that.
the law at that point, especially with the training thing. There was that old talk about having to register as a black belt and register your hands and all that kind of stuff, and I don't think that that's really in play anymore. You don't have to do that, but the bottom line is, if you use too much force to defend, you know, if a guy swings at you and you break his arm, you might have crossed the line.
I don't know how that's going to work. You know, I don't know. I talked to. I think it's situational. I think that the police around here do a real good job of understanding, you know, what's what. And so I guess I just got to trust that they're going to do their job. And kind of, I know if I have to swing on somebody, it was their fault, 100%.
Well, and you know, the reality too is if a situation gets to the point where I see it's gonna go,
Yeah, I'll leave.
I'm hitting first. No, I'm serious,
Yeah?
because I'm an old guy now, and I'm not young like you guys. And if the situation is getting that critical, and I think he's going to swing on me, I'm hitting first, and I'll take my chances with the law, because I'll go in there and I'll say, look, I'm a trained martial artist, and I could see his body starting to turn, and he was starting to load up, and I struck first because he was swinging on me. And they can't, because what they'll do is they'll say, well, you're the expert, and you shouldn't have struck, blah blah blah. Yeah, you're right, I am the expert, and I saw his back foot starting to turn and his hips starting to go, and that's how I tell somebody's starting to throw a punch, and bang, I got in there and I hit him first, and that's just how it works. And so you're calling me the expert. Here's my expert testimony. This guy was swinging on me.
That can work.
I haven't had to try it in court.
Roll the dice on that one, but I think it'll work.
But it sounds good. 541-485-1450. You're live. Who is this?
This is just Chris. You've heard me a couple times before. I have a very short comment. You can't keep me on the line long because I ain't that gullible. Just hit him once.
Just hit him once. That's it.
In the hyoid.
What?
Hit him once in the throat.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, wait, that's defense, right?
Well, it is, but see, here's...
Hit him once and break the hyoid, game over.
Yeah, but here's the problem with that from the law, okay?
Yeah, tell me.
If you've got a guy that's just throwing a punch at you and you chop him in the throat and drop him and he's choking on his own blood, you are legally responsible for that. Because you've met that force with too much force, dude. I'm sorry, that's how the law works.
No, here. I appreciate you letting me know, because I thought all I got to do is hit you once. Here. 2 fingers up under your rib cage, which destroys your heart, or once in the hyoid, or in the temple. Wait, I was just self-defense, man.
Well, and I get. Have you trained? Are you a martial artist?
I am not.
Okay. You know what? You can kind of get away with that by just saying you were swinging wild and you hit him, but you know what? You're still going to have the weight of the law coming down on you, because if this guy is just pushing you in the bar and you chop him in the throat, you're in trouble, dude.
Hey, Chris, listen, what do you think about coming in and doing a couple private lessons just on me, just to kind of show you?
Say that on the radio.
No, here. And I would come in and do a couple, but I'm a very, very in shape.
Say that on the radio.
No, here. And I would come in and do a couple, but I'm a very, very in shape 62-year-old, 160-pound, but I've never been in a fight in my life.
Well, then, what do you say to his offer?
Not once. I've never had to. You know why? I have a mind.
Well, you know what? That's all well and good until one particular night.
Until somebody comes after me, yeah.
Yeah. And it just helps. Man, it does so much for your mindset. And, it is good to avoid it completely, of course. But there are just times where you have no choice.
No, avoid is the thing. Avoid, deflect, distract, run away.
Oh, yeah.
I just turned on the radio because I was driving to a job, and I don't know who your sponsor is this minute.
This is Peaceful Fighter. Peaceful Fighter is right down the hall from us. On the radio.
I apologize.
Yeah, this is terrestrial radio. You can say dumbass on the radio.
I apologize.
Yeah, this is terrestrial radio. You can say dumbass.
That's what I meant to say.
Okay.
I meant you dumbass.
You dumbass.
You dumbass.
He meant what he meant and not what he said.
That's what I meant. Sometimes the words get away from my mind, even though I know that it's not right.
Well, and you know what? Here's the reality of that. It's normal lexicon. It's what it's how we. You almost did it again, didn't you? It's how we talk, and you.
Almost did it again, but I stopped. You see, you trained me. You trained me well.
Well, and that's
now,
the thing.
Maybe Peaceful Fighter could train me well too.
Well, and we're all used to talking that way. We're all used to dropping those words in our normal language, and you know, we've dumped ourselves a bunch of times because we've slipped to them, and we've been doing this a while, you know. And these words, for the most part, there's only a small group of people out there that get offended by them anyway. And it'd be really cool if we could just say whatever the F we wanted, but we can't.
You know, George Carlin should have cleared this up about 50 years ago, but
I love George.
It's still there. It's still there.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? About
George.
5 of those 7 words are okay now, pretty much.
We've come a long way, and weed is now legal. Isn't that strange?
Yeah.
Can we say that?
Yeah, we can. Look, and I told you guys this before. Here's the rules. I can call you a dick. I just can't talk about mine.
Isn't that strange?
Yeah.
Isn't that strange?
So I can't personally say, I got a big... I can't do that. But
See,
I can
my
call,
mind goes in... When you say that, though, Chris, my mind goes in a different place. You know, I can appreciate those rules.
Yeah. And it's also very vague, too, because if you look it up to find out what the FCC says, the language is so vague that you can't really pinpoint what you're allowed to say and not say. And in certain markets... Like I know in New York, after 10 o'clock on the radio, you can
say
drop
anything.
the F word. Yeah.
You can say anything. Yeah.
And it's a community standard thing. And there's no definitive community standard. And we really don't know what we can get away with, but we just play it on the safe side. We're protecting the license.
The community standard in Eugene is you're not allowed to say Republican.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, no conservative thought allowed. Chris, thanks for the call, buddy.
Hey, thanks. Hey, right. You
Come down and check us out, Chris.
Longer than I intended. Bye-bye.
Bye. 541-485-1450 if you want to join us. You know, we are talking a little bit about law and stuff like that. And, you know, if you're a woman, on the other hand, and you're accosted and you chop the guy in the throat,
I think you can do whatever you
you're
want.
okay then.
Yeah, I think at that point you can pretty much do whatever.
Yeah, but if a guy just takes a punch at you and you do something seriously devastating to him,
I think the rules are if you can get out of there in any way. I mean, there's such very, very few times in life that I'm 100% pinned in a corner. I mean, I'm a pretty capable human being. You can't really pin me in much of a corner, you know?
Well, and you practice doing just
exactly.
that.
So I don't put myself there. So, you know, if you can in any way get out of there, I think that's the law, is you got to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're 100% pinned in a corner, then I think at that point you just do what you got to do.
And you fight how you train.
It's, yeah.
You know,
and
even on the street, because if you get in a situation where you got to fall back and actually have to fight, you're going to fight how you train.
Or not train. So if you're not training, and, you know, if you think, this is something that's interesting, is I get people all the time, well, I just black out and I just get
That's ridiculous.
That's completely ridiculous. It's not going to work.
That's
that's your fear, trying to you know, convince yourself that you're safe walking around in the world. And you know, if you go out at 2 a.m., if you're out at 2 a.m. and you don't know some martial arts, consider that. Like, just take a moment and think about that. Like, you don't know how to defend yourself, but yet you're out at 2 a.m., probably intoxicated. Consider that, and then give me a call, and then we'll work together.
Yeah, it's an incredible thing. The other thing that training does is it does calm your mind. And there's so many things. If you're working out, you're training, you're sparring, you're doing all that stuff, and you get into a street fight, you're thinking about technique and how you're going to use it, what you're going to do. You're not just going wild and crazy and throwing haymakers and all the rest of it. That's number one. Number two, you're in shape.
That's another big part.
Yeah.
That's another big part. If you can just survive and you can be situationally aware for 30 to 45 seconds, you're probably going to be fine.
You're probably going to win because
most people are going to guess.
You get in there and spar for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, and even with all the training and all the working out that we're all doing, that is really, really taxing. If you're out of shape and get into a fight, 30 seconds and you're gassed.
I would challenge anyone listening, if you could last 60 seconds with me, I give you a free 3 months.
Oh, that's not nearly as good as Ronda Rousey's offer. His last 60 seconds with me, I'll let you F me.
She did not say that.
She did in
In
the
a
movie.
Oh my gosh.
Is that Entourage movie?
Speaking of her,
I haven't
she's
seen that. Is it good?
I haven't seen it yet either. I just saw that clip.
I guess there was a TV show, but I never watched that either.
Well, if I make it 30 seconds, you have to date me. If you last 60 seconds, I'll let you F me.
I'd be like, deal.
He's like, how many?
Deal.
How many seconds? It was like 3 seconds. She like comes in with a wild front kick or something.
Oh, yeah.
On the previews.
Speaking of Ronda, what do you guys think about that fight she's got coming up, Ron and Beth?
I heard about it for the first time last night.
I think Ronda's going to smash
And
her.
still.
And still, yeah.
And
So this girl's
still.
from Brazil, right? So for anybody who doesn't know, what's her name? Beth what?
Beth Correa?
Correa?
Correa, yeah.
It's
So
actually pronounced
Betch.
Betch.
Correa.
Okay, all right.
Betch. Oh,
So
she
she's-
didn't
it's
get,
Brazilian,
she didn't get
yeah.
picked on in school.
Right.
Hey,
It's
Betch.
it's spelled just like Beth.
Oh my gosh.
TH, yeah.
Just
So-
pronounced different.
But it's Betch.
So she's been beating up on Ronda's training partners over the course of the last 2 years or so, and so then she's been picking this fight. And I don't think she has the skills to get it done, but I do think it's interesting. She's been getting really emotional with Ronda, like really talking a lot of garbage, really getting in her head. And I wonder if that's her strategy, because I think that maybe that's her only chance. Ronda coming real wild and crazy, and her force plus the force of Betch's punch might be enough. I think Betch has got just about punch and power, and that's probably about it.
Yeah.
Ronda was saying she's gonna not finish her fast because she wants to punish her.
Because she wants to
So
torture
she's
her.
gonna try to make it last all the
Yeah,
rounds.
but then Ronda Rousey's mom heard
But-
about that and freaked out on her.
Well, and so it's a completely different mindset with the women,
Yeah.
And that's an interesting thing, though, too. Being a martial artist that Ronda is. Her mother's been her mentor. She's been in the Olympics twice. Ronda has
Her mom was a gold medalist.
gold medalist in the Olympics. Yeah, right. So
Wasn't that
no,
judo?
world. Sorry,
Judo.
judo.
Was
Yeah,
judo?
Judo.
And so even at this age, she's basically the baddest woman on the planet, right? And her mom chews her butt, and she, yes, mom. And listens, okay, yes, mom. Just so it's interesting, the respect that martial arts has.
Well, and that's also a mom thing, because my mom's 81, going to be 82 in November, crippled with arthritis, can barely get out of bed, and I fear her.
Oh yeah.
I absolutely fear her. She's 4'11" and weighs 97 pounds. And
I love it.
Fear her.
I love it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, absolutely. My mom always used to say, my mom's passed now, but she would always, you're not big enough, tough enough just yet. I'll whoop you,
Well, and the thing is, would you ever hit your mom?
Hell
There's
no.
no way.
No
So you're
way.
just going to have
No
to
way.
stand there
No.
and absorb the abuse.
Like whatever she can swing at me is just what it is.
Yeah.
I don't even.
Just stand there and take it.
I would
Yep.
feel bad even blocking it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
You
it
don't
might
wanna
hurt her
block it.
arm if
There's
you block
something.
it.
Yeah, I don't even. No, you just gotta let her whack you. I think.
Damn it, Mom. Not there.
But you're so
not in
used
the
to
nuts.
you're so used to getting hit, so it doesn't hurt that bad. So you got to play it like it does.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
It's like,
exactly.
oh, that hurts so bad.
Ow,
God, I'm on the
Mom.
ground. Don't kick me now. Stop it, Mom.
It's funny.
Stick around. We'll be back with more.
Toxic Wings and Fries on River Road brings us a newly discovered deleted scene from The Princess Bride.
All right, okay, now where was I? Inigo and Fezzik had just brought Wesley to Miracle Max.
Hey, hello in there. What's so important? What do you got here on Earth worth living for?
A traditional Philly cheesesteak sandwich from Toxic Wings and Fries.
Well, who could argue? A traditional Philly cheesesteak sandwich from Toxic Wings and Fries is the best thing in the world. When they smoke a whole ribeye roast to a medium rare, sliced nice and lean, onions, mushrooms, green and red bell peppers, and to top it all off, the provolone cheese. I love it. It's so perky.
But we can only get them on Thursdays.
Inconceivable!
You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Grandpa, it's Thursday. Can we go to Toxic Wings and Fries?
Yes, you're very smart. Shut up.
All Comedy 1450 is proud to partner up with RV Corral, and it's because of what we have in common. We both sell fun. RV Corral, Eugene's largest RV dealer, #1 in all the brands you know: Winnebago, Tiffin, Cougar, Montana, Fusion, Toy Haulers, you name it. You know what? These guys have a complete parts department. They got a body shop, and their service department keeps winning awards. Family owned since 1988. These guys make it fun to buy your fun. RV Corral. Jerry, Rick, and the gang will take great care of you. You'll have a great time hanging with these guys. It's a great partnership. All Comedy 1450 and RV Corral. 1890 North Highway 99, just a mile south of Beltline. Check it out. And I gotta tell you, some of these RVs just blew my mind. Comfort, technology, it's the way to retire. RV Corral. Check out their website at rvcorral.com. No pressure, great service, and you know why? Because we sell fun, baby, and isn't fun the best thing to have?
This message from Puddle Jumper Towing. If you need roadside assistance, call Puddle Jumper Towing.
Hey, move over. Did you know that according to the U.S. Department of Transportation, on average each year, 5 firefighters, 12 law enforcement officers, and 60 tow truck operators are killed while assisting or protecting families like yours and mine when a distracted driver crashes into them at high speeds? Oregon's Move Over law was enacted after a drowsy driver drove onto the shoulder of I-5 south of Ankeny Hill in September of 2001 and struck 3 police officers, killing 2 and critically injuring the 3rd. Ironically, they were assisting a family in a disabled van. Oregon's Move Over law, ORS 811.147, states that if you're driving up behind any type of police car or stationary emergency vehicle displaying flashing lights, including roadside assistance and tow vehicles pulled over to the roadside, you must move over into another lane. If you can't safely change lanes, slow down. And in all cases, the driver must try to provide as much room as safely possible for the emergency vehicle.
Brought to you by Puddle Jumper Towing. If you need roadside assistance, call Puddle Jumper Towing. They'll leave the flashing lights on for you.
We're back with the Peaceful Fighter Show, boys and girls. Chris, Nate, Sean, and Master Ryan in studio.
I like it. I like it.
Keep that trainer,
coming.
Yeah, and professional fighter.
Yes, sir. Keep that coming.
And we've got a couple of good fights coming up. Sean's coming up here on the 29th right here at the Lane Event Center. Looking forward to that, and I'm really excited about it because of the fact that we don't have to travel all the way to Lincoln City like we're going to have to do on September 5th for Nate's show.
It's worth it. It's on TV.
Show, fight, whichever way you want to put that. It's a show anyway. You guys are doing that, and it is going to be on TV. Tell us about that. Put you on the spot,
huh? Comcast and
right into the mic, buddy.
Some areas get it in Eugene, some areas don't. It depends on what you have, I guess. But it's broadcasted to like 50 or like 60 million homes.
So it's on Comcast. What channel is it going to be on Comcast?
I don't know the number.
Mav
channel.
TV.
It's Mav TV. I don't know the number channel. But
you can actually watch all the Mav TV fights down at Doc's Pad here in town.
Yeah.
They're great for us. They've put them on for us every week. They're
they haven't written us a check, so screw them.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
So Doc's Pad right downtown every Tuesday.
Doc's Pad does it.
Tuesday at 6
and Wednesday, right?
I think it's just Tuesday. Tuesday at 6.
I thought they were. You sure?
I only recognize Taco Tuesday.
Okay.
I only recognize Taco Tuesday.
I thought it was Tuesdays and Wednesdays, or Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I could be wrong.
All right. Well, we'll check it out. We'll find out. Before. We'll know for next week. Yeah. So that's going to be way cool. And you wanted to give away a ticket.
Yes. I have a couple of tickets I want to give away to Nathan Noble's fight here, September 5th, Lincoln City. Again, like Sean talked about, it is an event out there. It is beautiful.
It's at the casino, right?
It is at the casino. Chinook Winds, right on the beach. Beautiful, overlooking the ocean. It's right there. Fantastic. You can either get a hotel or, heck, one night I even slept on the beach. It's a great time out there.
541-485-1450. Pick up a ticket, baby, to Nathan's fight out in Lincoln City.
Come watch.
That's going to be cool. And that's a $40 ticket, right? Those things aren't cheap.
No, it's a great show. It's King of the Cage that are very well recognized. They've been around forever. Here, actually all over the world. So not just here, all over the world. And again, they're televised. It's going to be a really, really good event. They put it together real well. They bring in, real good refs and the announcers. I just really like it. It's a really good show. Alan R. Jocelyn puts it on. And, they're great. They've always treated us really well, and super excited for the show.
Tell us about the difference between UFC and Bellator and King of the Cage.
Okay, so, if you look at a podium, I guess Well, just different stages, different levels. King of the Cage has been around for a long time. They're kind of a platform where a lot of fighters can build their name. They're very, very credible, been around for a long time. They're televised, so they do a great job, put on a great show. Now you have someone like, say, Bellator, also kind of a similar deal. I'd say they're very well funded. They have the Viacom, which, if anybody knows a little bit more of the history of the sport, UFC was kind of plugging along, and then they got the Viacom deal, and they got on Spike. Then there was the Ultimate Fighter show.
Right.
And that really kind of drug them on into the next level and just kind of evolved the sport more and more. Well, for whatever reason, little tussle here and there, they got, Viacom let go of UFC. Now they picked up Bellator. So Bellator is a great organization, very well funded. They put on a great show. Like I said, we got a couple of local guys. In fact, one of the guys that I fought is on Bellator now, Tony Sanchez, I believe is his name. Yeah, he made it to Bellator. Also, another guy here, Brett Primus. He made it to Bellator. So we've got a lot of really good talent, that's been in Bellator. We also have a local guy here from Eugene in the UFC, Evan Dunham. Just had a great show. He's got his own jiu-jitsu school now in Las Vegas, and he put on a beautiful performance against Ross Pearson, a really tough guy, and won a great match. So they're just kind of levels. I would say that Bellator every year is competing more and more with the UFC.
But UFC's number one right now.
Yes. I mean, it's hard to say, without, offending anyone or that. Yet UFC's the number one platform.
Are there some guys in Bellator that could beat some guys in UFC? Probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, are they all great? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, is Brett Primus an absolute animal and probably rip through most of the lightweight division in UFC? Yeah, but he's over there. And so there's great fighters all over, but of course, I think the number one platform is the UFC right now,
and there's
for
a big,
sure.
Big change with the sponsors going on and stuff. Like the UFC just did a big deal with Reebok, and so now nobody could wear sponsors inside the ring. But Bellator still can. So there's going to be some fighters who want to stick with their sponsors and just go fight for Bellator, keep wearing their sponsors and get paid. But right now, all the fighters at UFC, they're not getting any money from their sponsors. Well, they are, just not from inside the cage. They can't wear sponsor names on their clothes and T-shirts anymore. Now it's only Reebok. Like, if you watch a UFC event now, everybody wears Reebok. Reebok everything: shoes, shirts, shorts, everything's Reebok.
Huh. So basically, Bellator and King of the Cage broke away with some fighters from UFC and created their own thing.
I definitely would say that's part of the
Because
model.
I know some of the guys that were in UFC went to Bellator.
Oh yeah, I think that's definitely part of the model. I think if you want to swoop up popularity, you got to have eyeballs. You got to put butts in the seats.
Now, can somebody fight for both Bellator and UFC, or are they?
No.
So they've got the politics going on there.
They're not friends.
Yeah, they're not friends.
And the King of the Cage is cool because they also do amateurs. Bellator and UFC is pros only. King of the Cage has events every week all over the world. They travel and they go to different towns. And for local talent, it's great for local guys. Like in Oregon,
they're the open mic, basically.
Yeah, and in Oregon, it's really great for pros because there's a lot of really good pros in Oregon. There's no big show. I mean, there's some, but there's not very many big shows in Oregon. Most of them are smaller. So the King of the Cage rolls into Oregon. It's a really big opportunity for the amateurs too. It's a big deal for them too, but especially for the pros because there's guys that are really good here, but there's not a good platform for them to really show their stuff.
So if you piss off Dana White, you go to Bellator.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's pretty much what Randy Couture did. But yeah,
we're just gonna try not to do that.
Now we want to be friends with everybody. I think we just want to do a really, really good job, entertain the best that we can, and then be hardballs when it comes to money. I think we really want to negotiate the best money we can, of course.
Well, and the bitch of that is, though, if you work for one, you can't work for the other, and it's like comedy that way in a lot of markets.
So really, you want to stick with the best. You want to get with the most. There's a combination. How do they treat you? How often do they put you to work? It's a job. So you really got to look at it that way.
Absolutely, it's a job. If you're getting paid for it, it's a job.
Yeah.
That's really what it boils down to.
So we're super pumped about that.
Didn't Rampage Jackson, he was in UFC for a long time and then went to Bellator for a bit, and then isn't he back in UFC now? Yeah, Rampage Jackson.
So there's some bitching and moaning going on.
I actually think he came back to UFC, and I think he actually won. Didn't he? He won his last UFC fight. Yeah.
Who did he fight?
I don't remember.
It's all about that money.
There's a lot of guys that went from UFC to Strikeforce back to UFC.
Yeah.
I remember Strikeforce too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Strikeforce was good.
A lot of guys went from UFC to Strikeforce then back.
So basically, there's other entrepreneurs that are going out there and opening up different venues so that they can compete against
But I
UFC, Bellator.
I believe the UFC actually bought Strikeforce out, though.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a good way of doing it.
It's not a bad
Well,
gig.
that's because they got so much money now. I mean, it's so far blown away boxing. I mean, the Pacquiao fight, be damned, that was kind of a one of. But the reality is, more people are watching UFC than they are watching professional boxing. There's no question about it now.
And I think part of the reason why, I mean, I love boxing too, so I'm a big fan of everything. It's all part of it for sure, and I can really appreciate that. But, one thing is the killer instinct. If you watched UFC last weekend in the co-main event between Robbie Lawler and Rory McDonald, go look that up.
I watched it
Go
again
Google
yesterday.
that.
Yeah, we watched it again yesterday.
And click images. Oh, my Lord.
Warriors.
I mean, those
Just
two.
Warriors.
Okay, so just to give you the quick spoiler here. At the end of the fight, 4th round, these guys come out bloody. It blows me away because they're pouring everything they have, and this is 20 minutes of fighting
They're both
at
winners.
each other.
These guys are both winners. Like,
this is a championship fight.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the UFC 170-pound championship fight, right? These guys have been fighting for years and years and years, and so they come out in the 4th round and they're just bloody, and it blows my mind. If anybody who's never done something like this, it's like imagine riding your bike down a hill as fast as you can and running into a pole, and then jumping up and fighting somebody who also just did the same thing. And being excited about it. It's like, what? So these guys come at each other. And Robbie hits him in the nose, and his nose is completely shattered. I mean, imagine dropping a vase. That's
I think
pretty much
from
what
the second round it was shattered.
Yeah, it had been shattered for some time. And it actually looked shattered at this point. It looked like, I don't know, an earthquake taking place in
And he
his
just
face
kept
or something.
eating straight
It was
left
like
hands
flat.
over and over again.
Yeah, he didn't even have a recognizable nose at the end of it. It was
It popped. Finally, he threw another one, a straight punch, and you could see his nose. Yeah, it basically popped.
literally exploded.
He grabbed his nose and sat down.
He sat down.
So anybody who wants to see Nathan do that to somebody, come on, give us a call. We got a couple of free tickets.
So to be clear, Nathan fought his first MMA fight this year about 5-6 months ago. He was 0-0. We didn't have an opponent for him. There was about a month until the fight. We noticed there was another 135er that also had no opponent. He was on the list. So we're like, I wonder if they're going to try to match up Nathan with this guy. We looked him up, and we're like, wow, Nathan, I think you could probably beat him. And we looked the guy up. Well, he was like 3-2. So we talked to Ryan, and we're like, Ryan, there's another guy on the card who also doesn't have an opponent. He's the same weight. But Ryan's like, oh, well, he's 3-2 though. He's got some experience. Ryan watched the kid's videos, and we kind of decided Nathan could beat him. Yeah, he's got some experience, but I still think let's go ahead and do it. So Ryan called King of the Cage, and King of the Cage was like, are you sure? Like we could find you an 0-0 guy. You know what I mean? And we just said, no, let's do it. And Nathan went out there, and hey man,
it was awesome.
I give that guy's experience. He's 3-2 in MMA, and he had a whole bunch of what do you call it?
Kickboxing.
Kickboxing fights.
He's from Scotland, and he came out. He had this angry face.
Oh yeah,
he had a good angry face. I got to give him that. It was real angry. I was a little okay.
Later on, we find out.
Later, it was surprised.
Yeah, nothing official, but we seen like a little Facebook thing, and it was saying he was like 24-3 in kickboxing. Oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, if that's true, that's pretty cool. But anyways, Nathan went out there, TKO'd him in 29 seconds. Had him flat on his butt within 10 seconds with a lead hook. Took him down, passed his guard, finished him out. Then Nathan was on the next King of the Cage card, which was about 2 months after that, and he knocked that opponent out in 15 seconds.
So now you're 2-0.
Yeah, with 40.
With a combined cage
seconds.
time of 44 seconds.
Wow,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, both guys went to sleep. So this next one should be real.
If I would have been pro, I would have got probably fight of the night or knockout of the night or something. I haven't gotten anything yet.
Yeah, they can't.
Only
We'd
because
walk
I'm
out
an
with some
amateur,
bonuses.
though. But if I was pro, I would have walked out there both times with both bonuses.
Wow, that's awesome. So there's good money to be made in this.
Yeah.
When you're entertaining.
I would have got my regular pay, which would have been however much to show, however much to win, on top of the bonus I would have got, and probably like knockout bonus or whatever.
Wow, that's awesome.
So for those couple fights, I probably could have made, if I was pro, I probably could have made, I don't know, maybe like $1,000, maybe
what
two,
do new pros start out
somewhere
at?
around
5
there,
and 5,
maybe.
5 to show, 5 to win. But that's kind of going up, especially when you're the one.
Is that 500 or 5,000?
Yeah, 500.
500
for brand
Yeah,
new
it's
pros.
500
But
for brand new
Ryan's
pros.
also got to get more than that for Nathan. I'm willing to.
Oh yeah, I feel like I'm a really creative again any fighters out there who want to get paid, give me a call.
And Nathan has proved himself too. He's not just a guy now. Like
yeah. So we're real good at being creative. We get a lot of there's revenue. Revenue. You have to create revenue, and if you can do that, you can get a piece of it. If you can't create revenue, there's no piece of nothing. So if he sells T-shirts and he sells tickets and he sells apparel and gear and there's all kinds of different things, sponsorships and helping other people out, and there's just a ton of different avenues for this guy to make some cash, and really just add revenue, add value to him, and add value to his wallet.
All right, so here's a question for you, Nate. We've sparred a bunch. We've hit each other a bunch. How much do you hold back when we spar? Seriously. How big a pussy am I?
You're not. You're tough. I don't go as hard as I can, obviously.
Well, we're not trying to kill each other yet.
I don't take it easy on you, but I don't go easy. I don't go hard.
We can't go too easy because then you'll beat us.
Yeah.
You're good enough to where we got to be on our game.
I could tell you back when you were in your prime, I'd probably have to try if I had to fight you in your prime.
Back in the 1800s?
Back when you were in your top shape, I would probably have to try pretty hard.
Well,
but you push me pretty good, but yeah, I don't go as hard as that.
I'll tell you right now, if I start
like when I come in with a bunch of punches and you start to do the curl thingy, I'll back off a little bit.
Yeah.
But I've definitely been legitimately punched by you, not letting you.
Mm-hmm.
I've been straight punched.
You knocked the wind out of me a couple times with the little side kick that you do, the little taekwondo kick or whatever. Yeah, it got me once.
Well, and in all honesty, I hold back on those too.
Yeah,
get him,
because seriously, if you really lay one out,
it
hurts.
I can tell
because you're good at that
if
one.
If you were to really kick me like that would seriously hurt.
You're good at timing it too. You wait for them to come in, and then they walk right into it.
I did it once. I came in with a left hook. I came in and he. Boom! And I was like, I felt that one.
No, it's funny. Nathan's the kind of guy you just can't get him excited.
Well, he's really, really low key. Yeah.
Super calm. You can punch him in the face.
That's really cool.
You can tell him he's getting a championship fight.
He has been since high school, man. That's like Nathan's freaking.
Well, I'll be excited. When someone tells me I have a good fight, I'm gonna be excited. I'm not gonna jump up and joy.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. Cool. Yeah,
you just don't let your face.
I'm not gonna jump up and scream and
before his fight and stuff, how calm he's able to stay, warming up and stuff.
That's another thing. With my first fight, I thought I was going to be super nervous.
I see guys that have 10, 15
and I thought I was going to get adrenaline dump, and I thought and I wasn't nervous at all. Came out and I was just it's because I'm used to I do it all the time, so it's kind of nerve wracking, but not really. I know what I'm doing, so it's not new, but. And again, there's a lot of people watching you. Cameras are in your face.
Right.
That's an interesting thing, I gotta say.
When I walk out and the camera's in my face, it's pretty exciting.
It's new. So the local stuff, it's great. I love it. And they have some cameras and they do their thing, and you get a DVD later. But the thing about the King of the Cage is that they got the cameras in your face. It's live. It's not necessarily live, but it's there. They're putting it on television, so you know it's there for production. And just having those giant cameras following you around, it's just such an interesting thing. On the way in, the way out of the cage, it's cool. It's a cool experience.
Yeah. All right, we're running a little bit late, so 30 seconds. Ryan, give us your pitch for Peaceful Fighter and
Peaceful
phone number
Fighter
and all the rest of it.
You got it, man. Peaceful Fighter, self-defense and fitness. Come on down and check us out. 503-442-8105. If you're a little nervous, check out our Facebook, Peaceful Fighter. We'll put some videos up. We've been putting up the little things like this, little snippets to kind of show people what's going on. Give us a call. We're getting ready for fights. We're doing a lot of self-defense, a lot of fitness. We work with a lot of just everyday clients. That's what we're looking for. So if you want to get in shape, learn to hit and get fit, give me a call. 503-442-8105.
This has been the Peaceful Fighter Show, and as always, it's kick-ass. I have a great time with you guys. See you again next Saturday.
Thank you, Chris.
See you guys later.